Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell just happened? Dead Space went from a straight up horror game to an action game. Like, I'm talking, this game has big action set pieces you would only see in a Hollywood movie or in Call of Duty. Dead Space 3 almost felt like a completely different game, to be honest with you. The weapons felt weird, you could craft items as if this was Minecraft, and you can even add attachments to your gun. Hell, you could even evade and crouch in this game. Like, what the hell just happened? So with this information in mind, the question stands. Can I beat Dead Space 3 with no upgrades, with only the starter weapon / revolver, in impossible mode? Well, let's find out. Oh, and there's no more kill count. No, you see, Dead Space 3 really kicked my ass. And I was thinking about how long it would take to actually do the kill count for this video, and I decided it just wouldn't be worth it. So until further notice, the kill count is on hiatus. Let's begin. So there I was, alone, cold and frail, unable to march through this apocalyptic snow. Isaac Clarke, Tim Kaufman, was on his way to look for a strange device that was somewhere on this planet. While approaching a starship, I couldn't help but notice how beautiful the scenery in this game is. I mean, just look at all these screenshots. You can't tell me that this game isn't gorgeous to look at. Anyways, I approached the starship and was attacked by a necromorph. Now, these new types of necromorphs are called wasters. They look more like a zombie than an actual necromorph, and they can even use weapons, as you can see here, in order to attack me. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty weird to use a gun other than the plasma cutter to take on these enemies, but you know what? This gun actually isn't that bad. It's pretty refreshing to use it, to be honest. After I made it past these couple of wasters, I made it to this strange device called the Codex. The ship decided to fall, and this led me to rappel myself down this cliff. After a sequence that looks like it was straight out of the Uncharted series, I made it to General Mahad. He took the Codex off my hands, looked me straight in the eye, asked me if I loved my family, and blasted me in the face. He deleted any data that Codex had, and with one final salute, he ended his life. The data was purged, and with that, we finally meet the myth, the legend, the god, the ethereal being known as Isaac Goddamn Clarke. Norton and Carver came out of nowhere and explained to me that Ellie was missing. However, right before she went missing, she asked for you guys to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That, and she also asked for Isaac Clarke. With this new information, I realized that it was my job to go ahead and find Ellie. After aiming at these unitologist's head like I was Deadshot, I accidentally pulled my plasma cutter out and realized I failed the challenge. I restarted my game and I did it properly this time. Everything was going to hell. The unitologists were on a mission to stop Isaac and the EarthGov from stopping this marker pandemic. You know, it's quite sad, really, that I'll be sending these unitologists home without any face for their family to realize who they were. But hey, you know what? I guess that's the risk they're willing to take. I managed to peacefully stop traffic and received a bullet to my tummy for a reward. Now, as of right now, the markers have been contained in some device that keeps them relatively under control. But Danik, the unitologist bastard, decided to blow up the containment device, which allowed the marker to be set free and spread its horrifying signals throughout the city. He then tried to put a cap in my ass, but I luckily escaped and landed on a bunch of corpses. I realized that while fighting these necromorphs, this gun blew through ammo faster than I blow through my money that's in my bank account. I honestly could not wait to get my revolver. Now, after a lot of killing and a lot of evading, I made my way past the city and assembled a train. I got on it and immediately got shot to death. Taking lives and preventing crimes was my middle name, and after killing these humans, I made it onto a ship in which we escaped using light speed. I woke up after that very rough day, and I started to walk around this beautiful ship. It's actually very nice. It's peaceful, there's no necromorph, there's no unitologist, it's just me, space, and pure tranquility. Now naturally, all of this came to an end when a bunch of mines started to blow this ship all to pieces. Everything basically went downhill from here. I knew that if I wanted to survive, I needed my spacesuit. I ran to it, I put it on, and made my way to a couple of crewmates who were stuck behind this escape module. I released the locks to the module, and it shot out faster than Usain Bolt. Our ship exploded, and I needed to make my way to the escape module in order to try and slow it down. I dodged a few mines here and there, and eventually got to it. Now you can't really see what's going on here, but I'm actually holding on to the cube. It was supposed to look like this, but I guess my game was just glitched, so whatever. After this whole debacle, we made it to the CMS Roanoke, in which we assumed Ellie was in. While in the Roanoke, I made it past a couple of necromorphs and even met up with the lurkers, who look a lot more like dogs than actual babies in this game. I turned on power, and after dealing with these annoying wasters who slapped me silly, I finally made it to the love of my life. Ellie, it's been a long time, I missed you so much. Oh. Well, as you can see here, I guess Ellie clearly moved on. I mean, it's not like we went through hell or anything, it's not like Dead Space 2 ever happened, no. Fuck me, I guess. God, I still love you though. Anyways, Ellie told me that I needed to go and decipher some message written on a wall. On my way there, I had to turn the generators back on in order to get rid of these large tentacles, which took a lot longer than expected, by the way. This is because a submachine gun is garbage. I solved this puzzle, rode this elevator, and made it to the message. I deciphered it, and it told me about a device that was able to control the markers and even be able to turn them off. This, of course, was huge. Finally, a real solution to stop this infection once and for all. This machine was apparently somewhere on the planet down below, but since our ship recently got turned into space debris, we had to find a new one. The Crozier was that lucky ship. However, that ship was on an even bigger ship called the Terra Nova. In order to get there, I boarded this Uber and I made it right to where I wanted to be. Now, after making it past a couple of wasters without even breaking a sweat, I played this game of Tetris in order to get the tram working again. On my way to the tram, I encountered another hunter-like bastard. I ran my little heart out, completely disregarding my asthma, and made it to where the tram was. All I had to do now was survive until the tram got here, but even that was impossible. You see, in this little area, the Leapers decided to show up, not one, not two, but like 3 or 4. So this made it very difficult. I can now confidently say that Leapers have been the worst enemy in all of the 3 Dead Space games I have played. This goddamn creature has flipped me upside down and made me kiss my toes more times than someone with a foot fetish could have ever asked for. I had enough of it. I turned this Leaper's head into pudding and took the tram all the way to the Crozier. Just like my life, I knew this ship was in desperate need of repairs. I pulled out the old mechanical engineering degree and got straight to work. After seeing my body get turned into puzzle pieces, I collected the 3 parts I needed in order to craft a shuttle remote. I used it on the ship, only to find out that this ship was out of gas. I went down to the nearest Shell gas station and refueled my shuttle. This, of course, was not as easy as it sounds. You see, the employees here at the Shell were quite moody and would not let me leave. I had no choice but to fight my way out. The only tip that these employees were receiving was the hollow tip at the end of my bullet. I ran out the Shell and into pure disaster as everything was basically on fire. I was turned into a nice hot family barbecue meal on a summer's day in the middle of June more often than I'd like to. But after traversing the fiery depths of hell, killing anything in my path, I finally made it to the launch doors, which were being jammed by these explosive canisters. I got onto a gun that had no right being as big as it was and unjammed the machine. I got sucked into space and was on the lookout for a port engine. Instead of fixing the ship, it honestly felt as though I was rebuilding a new one. With all the time we wasted fixing the ship, I felt as though I could have flown down to the planet myself and saved the world a lot faster. I found the port engine and left it for my crippled crewmate to get it back to the ship. I then had to find 3 flight recorders in order to finally finish assembling my Lego set. With the 3 flight recorders now placed in the Crozier, it was finally ready for use. I said my goodbyes to this poor man because I know eventually he is going to die horribly throughout this flight. My Star Fox knowledge came in handy during this section of the game. Barrel rolls and perfect aim was all it took to eventually destroy the complete integrity of this ship. I resealed these tanks because I did not want to explode today, and made my way back to my chair. Like I said before, I feel so bad. My boy got his eye popped like it was one of those pens you get back at the book fair. I tried my hardest to regain control of this ship, but inevitably crashed. After waking up from being knocked out, I woke up shivering and nearly frozen to death. I realized that I was alone and stranded in the middle of nowhere. My suit was badly damaged, and I had to stick to the flaming debris in order to keep myself from becoming a human popsicle stick. I was on the search for Ellie and the rest of the crew, but mainly Ellie, to make sure that she was okay. This huge smoke cloud and me nearly going from 24 bones in my spine to 12 made me realize that maybe Ellie might not have made it. I found a body, and thinking it was Ellie's, I picked it up to see who it was. It wasn't, so I was relieved. I left the body there and I kept going. Ellie was still alive, and she left me flares for me to follow. A huge spider came out of nowhere, slapped me silly, and almost made this challenge become a Can I Beat DeadSpace 3 using only a wheelchair. But luckily, my spine was still intact after all these hits. I found shelter and came across Buckle, who told me that everyone else headed for a research facility up ahead. He stayed behind because there were not enough snowsuits for everyone on the team. He also told me that there were some spare snowsuits down in the basement, but because he's such a gargantuan pussy, he didn't even bother to try and go get them. I finally turned my gun into a revolver and was ready to go get that snowsuit. Immediately after finding the feeders, I knew this revolver had potential. However, it was way too slow. It was not a good gun, not even in the slightest, when it came to either a pack of enemies or extremely fast enemies. I got the frostbite slapped out of me many times, but a simple combination of stasis and perfect aim will get you right past these little bastards and into the snowsuit. I saw Carver and made my way up to him. However, the game decided it wanted to put my newly acquired snowsuit fit and my newly acquired 6-shooter to the test with a boss fight, if you could even call it that. This snow beast knew exactly what he was getting into, and he stood no chance against me. I killed the beast using my Deadeye. Now, kill is a term I used very lightly because he actually just ran away. Give me a revolver and a bullet and I'll give you the body of whatever I used it on, is a saying I live by. A couple of obstacles later, and I made it back to the crew. I cucked my boy Norton and received intel on a way we can pinpoint the location of the machine we are looking for. The chapter ended, and so did this video. Please stick around for the grand finale of DeadSpace 3. I mean, it has everything from huge out of control drills, to aliens, to huge ancient temples. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. It's a banger. With all that being said, please subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this video, and leave me a comment down below for any game you'd like to see me play. Any game whatsoever, any challenge, let me know. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.